on YouTube? Broke Boy Tactical here, and I hope everyone's having a great day. So, I just recently made a video about my G3C and how I, am really starting to change my mind about the company Taurus. With my 856 stainless up here, combined with my experience with this G3C so far, I have to say that it's looking real good for Taurus. I can honestly say that so far, I really might be able to tell you guys that Taurus is definitely a recommendable option. And the only reason why I didn't say it before is you have to understand, guys, I don't think that my shit don't stink, and I don't think that I'm smarter than other people, okay? I know that Taurus has been changing their game since 2013, since the PT-111 Millennium G2 came out. However, my experience with Taurus is very limited, and the experience that I did have was very negative. So I personally just couldn't say that they were recommendable, even though that the evidence shows that they are. I'm never just going to say from my experience they're recommendable because everyone else is having a good time with something. My PT-58 and my TCP or PT-738 were of the utmost definition of hot fucking garbage. Like, they were gun-like products. They weren't even real firearms in my mind because they didn't work. Like, they weren't even reliable as range toys. They were terrible. But this little G3C and my 856 stainless up there are really changing my mind. But I thought I would also play devil's advocate and tell you some things that I don't like about this firearm. I'm going to be real with you. There's nothing I really don't like about the 856 other than the cylinder lockup could be a little better, but it's a budget revolver. It still functions just fine. It's accurate and it's perfectly fine. There are some things about this gun that, I'm a little weary about. One of the things that nobody talks about is this little thumb groove right here. This is great for one-handed shooting. This is absolutely wonderful. However, if you're going to be applying a two-handed grip, this palm right here kind of digs into that piece, and when you're shooting, it makes it rather uncomfortable. Rather uncomfortable. This really makes me want to use a thumbs-down like revolver grip with this gun because that way my thumb can still rest in that hole. This is just a more comfortable grip for this firearm, and it's not what I'm used to. I'm used to a thumbs-over grip, like on a Glock. And I will say with this firearm, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world to do. Is it doable? Absolutely. Is it, painful? No. It's just noticeably uncomfortable, and it will rub your palm raw after about a box of ammo. So if you're training, that can become kind of an issue. But in a self-defense situation, no, that's not going to be a problem. It's just a little bit of a gripe that I have. I will, however, say for one-handed shooting, though, this little ramp right here is... It's almost like a gas pedal. Like it really helps reduce muzzle flip. It's very aggressive, and it hugs your knuckle just right. So that is really good. But again, so in a two-handed grip, it really makes me want to use a thumbs-down revolver grip instead of a thumbs-over Glock-style grip. That would be a complaint of mine. Another thing, this thing shoots high. At past 10 yards, I'm shooting about 2 inches high. Not the end of the world. Especially for self-defense, 5 to 3 yards and in, not going to be a problem. But I will say, even though this came out of the box with a really good sight setup, which are metal, you cannot adjust these for elevation. The only option I have is to replace these with different sights or take a Dremel and file them down until they're right. So, if you are trying to get some distance out of your G3C or your G3, I've also experienced through watching other videos that I am definitely not the only person who's having this problem. So just keep that in mind. It is a budget gun. It does come with some nice features, but these sights are not really in spec. They're really not. So that could present a problem. It's really not a big deal. When you buy a Glock, you're going to replace those plastic pieces of shit anyway, right? Except this is half the cost, so you have some extra money to actually replace them with some good sights. Not the end of the world, but it is still kind of a gripe out of the box, okay? Another gripe. I had to do this just to show you guys we are cleared. All right, we've got nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well right now. This is a safe direction. I'm going to pull the trigger. Okay? Now, empty magazine. No problem. Shoots out with authority. No problem. I know that it's going to be a little mushy with a full magazine, okay? However, there's something really wonky and weird about when you release this with a full magazine. Is that going to be an issue? No, it's not going to be an issue. They have not fallen out on me, but it is something that I've noticed. It just doesn't really feel the same as it does on a Glock or an M&P or even my EC9S or even my LCP. Even with a fully loaded magazine, they still shoot out with authority. These, when fully loaded, just kind of fall, which is fine. As long as it falls, that's all you need it to do. But again, I will say it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. It does make me feel like my magazines are not seated properly. It's just kind of weird, and I know it's a thing with all firearms. Of course, they're going to shoot out with more authority. But you see how they just like fire out of there? Just kind of falls. I don't know. It feels really mushy. There's not a whole lot of positive retention in the actual. And I called Taurus, and it's apparently just how they're built. And I have put like 200 rounds through this gun, and no magazine has fallen out on me yet. It doesn't. So it's not a big deal. The magazines do seat, as you can hear. They seat just fine. They're not going anywhere. It's not the same as it is on other guns. Like I said, these are just gripes. None of these things are really going to affect the reliability of this gun. This thing has been 100% reliable. 115 grain bullshit all the way up to 147 grain awesomeness. FMJs, full metal jackets, ballistic tips like critical duty, critical defense. This thing eats it. It really does. Right now, I have landed on Federal Punch, 9mm standard pressure, 124 grains. This is a beast of a round. I like this cartridge. I like this round. I like the Federal Punch. But really, that's about it, guys. That's really about it. Trigger's awesome. It's breaking in great. It still has that awesome reset. It does break to the rear, but you know, I mean, whatever. You can train around that. My biggest complaint would be the grip, because your muscle memory is everything. If you're just getting into firearms, you can train around and use a thumbs down grip if you want to. But if you're not used to this, this will affect your accuracy. Having to alter your grip like that. I am used to a thumbs over grip, and while I will say it is doable, and it is definitely going to be fine for self-defense, but training like this is gonna rub you a little raw, dude. That little piece right there is just gonna rub you a little raw for a thumbs over grip. Again, just makes me feel more comfortable using a thumbs down revolver style grip, and that's fine. As long as you're accurate, that's fine. But again, if you're experienced and you're trained like this, it might present a little bit of a comfort issue. That's really it, guys. Is this still a recommendable option? Oh my god, yeah. This is awesome. No cheap rattle. Like, no loose tolerances. Nice snug fit. Great reliability. Nice features. You know, definitely an upgrade over the original. Still recommendable. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on some of the complaints that I had, so I didn't seem like I'm just trying to follow the trends. You know what I mean? It took me a long time to work my way around a Taurus, and this guy's really impressing me still. So, what do you guys think? See you next time.